Hey there, I am D.
Yes, we all remember the Hunger Games, don't we? The book that many describe as Battle Royale for stupid kids. Among other things, if you ask me. Personally, I'd put that book in the same category as the movie Avatar. I.e., it's a miracle anyone could like it. Even enough to warrant a sequel. 2 of them, no less. And much like many others have done before, the first sequel will end with a cliffhanger that will be resolved in the next sequel.
Originality is a foreign word to Miss Collins, isn't it? Ah well, for now, let's take a look at the first sequel, Catching Fire. But before I do, let's recap what happened last time. I assume we all remember the bit wherein the main character was forced to play a game wherein she was to kill everyone. But in a funny twist, mind you, funny, not clever, the main characters, i.e. Katniss Everdeen and her boyfriend, threatened to kill themselves so there wouldn't be a winner, forcing the authorities to stop them from killing themselves and declaring them both as winners. How do we go on from there?
Even some high government officials have made appearances occasionally, but I had never seen President Snow.
President Snow? Who's Vice President? Rain? I suppose the First Lady is Ice? I assume Hail is Prime Minister, while Hurricane is Joint Chief. I have a problem, Miss Everdeen.
Says President Snow.
A problem that began the moment you pulled out those poisonous berries in the arena. In several districts, people viewed your little trick with the berries as an act of defiance, not an act of love. And if a girl from District 12, of all places, can define the capital and walk away unharmed, what is to stop them from, say, an uprising? Yeah, here's something someone has to explain to me. So an uprising happened several generations ago, and to prevent it, they started the Hunger Games. But aren't you just giving your people another reason to start a new uprising? At least in Battle Royale, it was explained that after Japan lost the war, they had to rebuild their country, and in order to do so, sacrifices had to be made. Or if you go by the movie's continuity, it's an incentive to make kids more obedient to adults. Here, it makes no sense. I mean, you're trying to prevent a rebellion by giving people a reason to rebel? President Snow may have peacekeepers on his side, but he clearly didn't think it necessary to hire this guy.
This is the year of the 75th Hunger Games, and that means it's also quarterquell. They occur every 25 years.
That's what I feared. The sequel couldn't just be a repetition of the first book, there had to be a twist. Luckily for Miss Collins, Rowling had already written the solution. After all, Triwizard Tournament, Quarterquell, sounds similar to me. On the 75th anniversary, the male and female tributes will be reaped from their existing pool of victors. In other words, Harry Potter helped give Miss Collins an excuse so she can put Everdeen in another Battle Royale. If I wanted to read the first book again, I'd have just read the first book again. Though what's worse is the line I actually skipped to make this point. On the 75th anniversary, as a reminder to the rebels that even the strongest among them cannot overcome the power of the capital. Oh sure, shut the rebels up by making yourself more transparently evil. Barnabas would be proud.
What do you expect to find in District 13? I ask.
For those who may not remember, District 13 was the very district that was demolished after the uprising.
Twill says earnestly.
We think the people moved underground when everything on the surface was destroyed. And we think the capital leaves them alone because their principal industry was nuclear development. Shouldn't that have stopped the capital from wrecking District 13 in the first place?
Why haven't they helped us? I say angrily. These are delusions. District 13 doesn't exist because the capital would never let it exist.
I don't know. If the country is basically run by people who make these guys look like members of Mensa, then District 13 has nothing to fear. And I'm sure you can all figure out where it goes on from here. So they fight in the arena, but are saved by these legendary District 13 people. The cliffhanger being that they're now cooking up some plan to take down the government. Will they succeed? The real question is, should I care? The first book made little to no sense, but even if it did, a sequel was unnecessary, because all it does is emphasize everything I already hated about the first book. Oh well, if you borrow too much from everything else, you'll only end up creating a monster. This was D, I'm signing off.